Thank you, Sue.
That was close. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Amy Sugar. I'm an associate instructional designer.
And I'm Nancy Swenson. I'm a senior instructional designer.
And we are both with the Center for Distributed Learning at the University of Central Florida. There is a graphic on this slide. It's a circular graphic, and inside the circle is text that reads Center for Distributed Learning at UCF. And surrounding that text are several boxes and arrows that contain text that describe all of the work that our center does to support online teaching and learning at UCF. These text descriptions include standards, credentialing and reporting, faculty development, course design, course production, technical support, and assessment. As instructional designers, Nancy and I spend the majority of our time on the right side of this circular graphic, supporting faculty development and course design. We do support some course production, but we wanted to note that our instructional designer role at UCF is unique in that we don't build courses for our faculty. We teach them how to effectively design and develop online and blended courses, and then our faculty build their courses. Of course, they have a lot of support from the Center for Distributed Learning. They have instructional design support, and we also offer course production support. We have a video team, a graphics team, and several other course production support teams. So we just wanted to share that difference before we start talking about digital accessibility. So today, during our lightning session, we're going to share our successes and challenges with digital accessibility specific to faculty development programs. We would love for you to think about your successes and challenges as we're talking about ours, because at the end of our session, we will invite you to participate in a Slido word cloud poll. So we'll give you directions then, but we just wanted to give you a heads up that that is coming. So I'm going to kick us off, and I'm going to talk about digital accessibility successes and challenges from the lens of our Faculty Development Ecosystem Task Force. So we refer to this as FDET because, you know, in higher education, we need more acronyms. And so FDET was established a few years ago as a task force. This consists of several instructional designers on our team. And the role of FDAT is to maintain, update, and improve faculty development programs. So this group of instructional designers helps provide centralized oversight and project management for any updates and revisions and future faculty development offerings. We also engage with stakeholders, and we also continuously collect feedback and data so that we can strive to improve our faculty development programs. So we see this as a digital accessibility success because having this centralized group has really helped us to effectively integrate digital accessibility throughout all of our faculty development offerings. FDAT helped establish competencies and outcomes, and also helped identify when and where those competencies and outcomes should be addressed in different faculty development courses. So this has enabled FDAT to ensure that we're providing up-to-date, consistent, and relevant content related to digital accessibility in our faculty development courses. In a recent course redesign of one of our faculty development courses, FDAT improved the connection between accessibility and our online course quality review process. Nancy is going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But I'll just give you an example. When this course was redesigned, we ensured that all of the activities and assignments that faculty were doing to design and develop their course, that they could see a strong connection between what they were doing, why they were doing, especially the accessibility items, and which will benefit them in the long term when they want to go for a quality online course review. And lastly, a success that we've seen within our FDET task force or area is just connecting faculty to the digital accessibility resources and support teams that they need. I mentioned we have several different faculty development programs. We recently redesigned a program that has the main audience is adjunct instructors And we do get a lot of graduate teaching assistants in this course. So again, just making sure we're providing relevant content and resources and that everyone's getting the same information, whether full-time or part-time faculty. So on the flip side of this, there are some challenges that we are trying to address within FDAT and thinking about digital accessibility. The first one is supporting DIY or do-it-yourself multimedia development. I mentioned that we have several teams within our center that can support faculty in developing multimedia. So the video team and the graphics team. However, many of our faculty have shared that they want to create their own multimedia elements because they want to do it on their own time and their own schedule. And so we've identified a gap based on faculty feedback that they need additional resources and guidance for best practices. Now, which tools should they use? How can they get started with making sure they're thinking about accessibility from the start? Another challenge is meeting all of our faculty accessibility training needs. In June of 2022, UCF implemented a digital accessibility policy, and this has really gotten our faculty talking about accessibility. They're asking a lot of great detailed questions. How can I improve this, or what can I do to address this? Faculty want to adhere to this policy, and faculty are asking for additional training around digital accessibility. We've done a really good job of providing beginning or introductory digital accessibility training for our faculty, but we're seeing a need to provide intermediate and advanced training around this topic. And building upon this need for training and resources, we've identified a gap, again, based on faculty questions and feedback and needs, that we need to provide more STEM-specific training and resources. We do have a group of instructional designers who have been researching this and compiling resources and strategies, best practices around this topic. So now I'm going to hand it over to Nancy, who is going to share digital accessibility successes and challenges around the topic of our quality online course review process.
Thank you, Amy. What is our UCF online quality review process? It came out of a 2025 strategic plan for online education that actually was written and approved back in 2015 by a subgroup of our Board of Governors, or as a directive from our Board of Governors. And every university in the state university system was tasked to create a culture of quality for their online education courses. And to do that, they wanted each institution in the state university system to create a certification process to recognize the development of high quality online education courses or online courses. So at UCF, we took this initiative and we developed our own quality review process. It is an opt-in opportunity for faculty. No one is required to go through it. And one of the ways that we look at this is that it's a personalized faculty development opportunity with a faculty member and their instructional designer. One of the things that's unique about UCF is we do have a required course that faculty have to take if they are going to be designing, developing, and teaching online, and they have an ID assigned to them during that process. And they usually keep with that ID long-term. But at UCF, many faculty do their own thing, and this is an opportunity for them to reconnect with that instructional designer if need be. You'll see a link on that slide for UCF Quality Online Course Design Initiative. We have a Google Doc that we'll share at the end that will have links to anything in this presentation that we're sharing today. And that it goes to our actual website for UCF Quality Online Design. Okay, next. Our course review or quality online course review focus areas have 4 primary areas that we focus on. Sorry, part of the screen is covered with pictures and stuff. Sorry. So I apologize, I can't see the whole screen. So our quality review process covers 4 primary areas: course overview and introduction, course content, assessment and engagement, and accessibility and usability. Within each of those 4 areas, there are individual items that we check using a rubric. So there'll be items in course overview and introduction, course content, etc. And each of these items are evaluated with present, developing, or absent, as present, developing, or absent. And we will share a link to those rubric items at the end in our Google Doc as well. You'll notice on this slide, before Amy goes to the next one, that accessibility and usability has a section all on its own. That wasn't always the case, but we recently did an update to our quality online initiative and our review items. And because we've been doing this for over 5 years, we thought it was time to review it and make some updates. And accessibility and usability now has a more prominent presence in our review processes, and it includes or accounts as 25% of the overall score. So it is an entire category that has a score of 25% of those 4 out of the 100. Okay, next. Okay, some successes that I'd like to share with you related to our quality online course review process is, as I just mentioned, there's an increased emphasis on accessibility. And one, due to the digital accessibility policy that Amy mentioned, but also just because of this review process itself, it has raised faculty's awareness of accessibility, and they are coming to us for just-in-time accessibility related training as they go through the review process. It's also gives us an opportunity to connect the faculty with the resources and support teams that we have. As I mentioned earlier, many of our faculty go through our required faculty development over many years, and some haven't connected with us in many years. And when they fill out the form and they want to have their course evaluated for quality, they'll be reconnected with that instructional designer where they hopefully can build that relationship again with them. And we're very pleased with that, as well as all of our teams and resources. Another positive about this process is that going back to the quality review process, we have a quality task force that put all of our quality review items together and our process together. And as a member of that quality task force, we have quality focus groups, faculty focus groups, where we ask faculty their opinion on the overall process, the pluses and the minuses of the process, and what are some of the things that they found to be most helpful. And according to the faculty, one of the items that they list that they found most helpful about this process, and you'll see it in bold there on this slide, is the improved accessibility of their course materials. So we're very pleased with, from the faculty's perspective, they also see this as a win and a positive of going through this online course review process. All right, next. And then some of the challenges, though, that we've experienced for this quality online course review process, especially as it relates to accessibility, is the time commitment. The overall review process itself takes time for the ID, and then when the ID meets with a faculty member, there's also a time commitment to go over the review with the faculty member and then come up with a plan on how to make improvements to the course. As I said, each of the items on the quality review rubric are evaluated individually, and each individual item as needed will be gone over with the faculty member. And if needed, especially related to accessibility, a lot of remediation sometimes comes into play. And then we have to come up with a plan on how to make those materials accessible that may not have been as part of the quality review process. Another thing that we struggle with right now, or we're struggling with right now, is the lack of additional technology to support remediation and creation of accessible online course materials. Some of the things, and you may be experiencing this at your institution as well, some of the types of documents and files and multimedia that we're struggling with is PowerPoints, videos, things of that nature, are things that PDFs that faculty put in their courses on a regular basis, but we have accessibility checkers, but it's a challenge to use those accessibility checkers and a challenge to remediate those documents using those particular checkers that we use at UCF. So we're always looking for additional technology and tools that will help make it easier, not only for us as reviewers and people that help the faculty with their online courses as support teams, but also for the faculty to use as they're creating their course materials. The other thing we struggle with at UCF related to accessibility is a centralized training or resources to address accessibility related items. We have resources that we share online. We have other places on campus that share resources online related to accessibility, but there's not a centralized location. We are working with some on campus to to create a centralized place. We have been approved for, or the university has been approved for one website to house all those resources. So we're looking forward to that being able to report on that next year, where we have that centralized place for resources and some successes with that. So we look forward to reporting back next year. Amy's going to now talk to you about the Slido presentation, and I'm going to copy and paste the Slido information.
We're going to skip it because we are out of time. I
Oh, you
swear we
serious?
practiced and we have time for this, but we would love to continue the conversation with you about digital accessibility. If you are having similar challenges or thinking about addressing some of these things, we'd love for you to connect with us. So our information is here. We appreciate you joining us, and we just want to make sure the next presenters can start on time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nancy, thank you so much. I know it's the fastest 15 minutes in the world, so I appreciate you covering such great information in such a short amount of time. I will waste no time and turn it over to Jessica and Stephanie. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it's kind of a hard act to follow. You guys did amazing. I feel like we have kind of the